Pope Francis has arrived in Egypt for a two-day visit to help mend ties with the country's Coptic Christians. His visit follows a series of Daesh attacks on the Christian minority. Well, joining us from the UK is the Reverend Dr. Anderson Jeremiah, a lecturer in world Christianity at Lancaster University. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Now, some are drawing parallels with this visit and the Pope of the Times trip during the Crusades in the 13th century. But Pope Francis has scoffed at security concerns this time, hasn't he?
Yeah, Pope Francis is almost making a new path for himself. He's taking probably the path of his namesake, Francis of Assisi, who came 800 years ago to plead with the Muslim commander at that time for security for Christians. So I think he's drawing a new pattern of relationship with the Muslim world, and it's very important to keep in mind that it's not just about security. I think he's trying to re-establish the relationship between Egypt and the Vatican to start with, and also to show the solidarity with Christians. And I think he has very prominently made it sure that it's not about security but about peace.
Well, we know that he wants to comfort the Christians there following the attacks on the Coptic community. But he also wants to extend that branch of friendship you're mentioning to mainstream Muslims, particularly following his predecessor's remarks linking Islam to violence. It's a delicate balancing act, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think that's why in the letter that he has written before his visit to Egypt, he has very clearly mentioned that we should be looking at each other, that is Christians and Muslims, as children of Abraham. So he is actually trying to draw the attention of both Muslims and Christians to their common heritage and tradition, and not necessarily all the conflict that happened in between. So I think he's not simply there to stand with the persecuted Christians, but he's also trying to extend an arm of friendship and also about brotherhood. And it's very interestingly, he mentions brotherhood of peace. And this is a very strong message of reconciliation from Pope Francis.
You talk about that strong message of reconciliation, but some more conservative Catholics have criticised him for being too soft on Islam. How do you think this is going to go down with his critics in the Christian community?
It's a very interesting situation, because many from the Catholic Church itself has criticized that his approach to Islam is very naive, and he's not openly condemning the perpetrators of violence over Christians. But Pope Francis consistently have taken a very strong message of working together, dialoguing with people, and also building bridges, strengthening human relationship. I think one of the things that he's very good at doing is that emphasizing that communities should come together, faith communities should work together, and not necessarily simply look at politics. So he's very strong in emphasizing that aspect, and I think he's going to leave a very strong message back in Egypt.
Well, Reverend Dr. Anderson Jeremiah, thank you very much.